Truman, our oldest, was in 6th grade. Ian, my ex-husband, and I just announced our divorce. 2 houses, 2 separate lives, and we told ourselves the boys will be fine. We'll just shelter them from the typical stuff, all the lawyer stuff, and they'll be fine. We didn't know what we didn't know.
I felt like it happened out of nowhere. Neither me or my brother had noticed any sort of issues or conflicts or anything, and so when my parents told me that, we were like, what in the world? And then the next day, Dad was spending the night at my grandma's, and my mom would go sleep in my uncle's house. It just came super fast, and nobody was ready for it, which, I don't know, I guess you could never be ready for that.
Truman had night terrors when he was little, and after the divorce, things got worse. He started hitting himself across the face as hard as he could. It was shocking to see. But there were no scars, no outward signs, so we told ourselves he's probably fine.
And about 1.5 years after the divorce, my dad had told us that he was dating again, and he'd already had a girlfriend for 1 year. I felt like he was just bringing in a new mom, and I was like, I don't want this. This is not something that I need right now. He said that he wasn't going to compartmentalize his life, which was, I mean, that's fair, but at that point I was like, I can't deal with this. It just felt to me that he didn't care, which I know now isn't true, but at the time it felt that way. Between that and just the way some kids treated me in school, other than my close friends, people weren't nice to me at that middle school, which was a huge part of it. But the divorce was just too much at a time where I was already going through so many changes that one big negative one just tipped me over the edge.
One day, I was sitting in Taekwondo, and my phone rang. It was the mom of one of Truman's friends, so I stepped outside. She was so calm, and she said, "Hey, Sarah, I need to tell you, my son and Truman were having a conversation, and Truman told him he wanted to kill himself." My heart started to race. My body was really hot. I could feel my face change, but I couldn't freak out. I couldn't make it a thing. I swear it was the spirit saying, "I will protect you, just be calm." I didn't even call his dad. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just Googled it. How do I talk to my son about suicide? And access was right there. I just read and reread the questions in the conversation starters section, and I knew that I had to talk to him. We were at his little brother McCrae's soccer practice, and I asked him to walk the track with me. I said, "I need to ask you something, and it's going to feel hard, but I need you to tell me the truth." And I think it was the right timing. I think maybe he was waiting for me to ask him, "Do you feel like the world would be a better place without you?" He said yes. "Have you thought about killing yourself?" He said yes. "Do you have a plan?" He said yes. I put my arm around him and we just started walking. And I said, "You are loved, you are wanted, and I need you to stay." I asked him to promise me that he would stay.
I think a lot of the time getting out of that mindset was up to me. There's not really anything that somebody else can do to just change how you're feeling in the moment. Kind of supporting somebody to make them feel comfortable and safe and strong is the best thing you can do, because then I think they feel more secure in themselves.
He chose to stay home from school the next day, so early morning we walked alongside the creek. But we didn't do much talking. I watched him relax and enjoy the peace and safety of release and relief. I was terrified, but hopeful at the same time. He was gonna be okay.
It felt good to just get it out there. I mean, I was a little terrified. It was like, oh, are they gonna stick me in a mental hospital? I wasn't sure what telling her would mean. But yeah, I think it was a mix of a little bit of fear and relief just to know that it was out there.
His vice principal, Brian, and the school counselor, Susan, were amazing. His math teacher, Miss Petrelli, and his coach, Coach Doug, Victor, another counselor, they were attentive and caring. And that's when we learned a question we could ask that changed everything. What's your number? It's a simple question that told us a lot. If he was below a 7, he needed us. If he was below a 5, we took action, and we still use it every day for all of us.
I feel like it was kind of a way to put feelings on a scale. Sometimes it's hard to judge how somebody's feeling based on what they tell you they're feeling. I think it was kind of a good, emotional translator, I guess you could say. If I was ever going down that path again, I would think of people and things that I enjoyed, that gave me value and that I provided value to. My brother was a big one. My mom and dad were big ones. My cousins and friends were big ones. I knew they would miss me.
8 years ago, Access gave me the words that I needed to start a conversation that saved my son's life.